Hello and welcome to Pick a Card Palace. In today's Pick a Card reading, we will be answering the question, what's going on with them? How are they doing? For this reading, we have 4 options. Option 1 is Piglet, option 2 is Tigger, option 3 is Pooh, and option 4 is Eeyore, even though it says sit on the card. Okay, so once you've made your selection, you can scroll down to the description box where you will find links taking you directly to each of these individual readings. I'm going to give you some time now to make your selection before we get started, but if you need more time, just pause the video. Hello there, option 1. If you chose Piglet, this will be your reading. So first off, you chose Piglet, and for those of you who are not familiar with the Winnie the Pooh stories, Piglet is the best friend of Winnie the Pooh, who's the main character in these stories. Piglet is kind of nervous and timid, but can be quite courageous when called upon to rise to the occasion, which makes Piglet quite a great companion and friend. So I wonder if your person who you've come to this reading for, option 1, is like Piglet. Maybe they're a bit timid, maybe they're a bit anxious, but also willing to do what they can to help a friend out, even if it means they have to come out of their comfort zone. So we now will look at some other cards to see what's going on with this person. So what is going on with this person? How are they doing? This person who option 1 has come to this reading to hear about. How is this person doing? What's going on with them in their life? Let's see. We have wisdom line. The effect is that it indicates hidden dangers of diseases of the nervous system and cardiovascular system. Now that's actually interesting because we were just talking about how Piglet is a bit nervous and anxious. So what's going on with your person at this time is, again, we're getting this message of anxiety. So this person in their life is anxious about something. Something may be coming to light. They may be realizing something and then, oh, wow, I need to do something about X or Y or Z. And maybe they've been timid about it, like our Piglet, but now they realize that they need to make a move or take some kind of action. So please tell us more about what is going on in this person's life. This person that option 1 came to this reading to hear about, what is going on with this person in their life? How are they doing? What are they focusing on in their life? Okay, we have workaholic. I'm going to draw a couple more cards actually. What else can you tell us about what's going on in this person's life at this time? What are they focusing on? Okay, we have tropical vacation. Where did you go? Okay, and let's get one more. What is going on with this person? What's going on in this person's life? What are they focusing on? What are they dealing with? We have get married. Tell everyone about your big day. Okay, so we've got a few things going on here for this person, option one. So for one thing, it looks like they're very busy with work. They are working hard. They are working a lot. I don't know if this is because they just have workaholic tendencies or if because something is driving them to work a lot. We were talking about the anxiety that this person may be feeling, realization that they've had that they need to step up and do something, and it may be that they're realizing they need to apply themselves to making money, and that actually makes a lot of sense if the other things going on in their life are quite literally what we see on these cards here. If this person is planning to get married and they are planning some kind of, maybe it's a honeymoon, a tropical getaway, maybe it's some other exotic vacation that they are planning or wanting to plan. In either case, these things take money, and most people acquire their money through work. So all this is probably tied together. This person is focused on making the money to do the things here, specifically having to do with a relationship. Is quite literally for many of you, this person may be planning to get married to someone. I don't know if that's you or if that's someone else in their life right now, but they are planning to get married. Now, you may be here for someone who actually is not a romantic interest of yours. So in that case, of course, they're not planning to get married to you. They're planning to get married to somebody else. Okay, so we'll put that out there just in case. This is to cover all of our bases. Now, let's see what else we can find out here, though, about what's going on with them. So we've got a few things here about what's going on with this person. Can you tell us how they are feeling about these things going on with them? How are they feeling about this work situation? I'm going to put a card there. Okay, so the vacation, the travel planning or whatever's going on with that. And finally, how are they feeling about this? These plans to get married? How are they feeling about that? Okay, we've got a few cards there. I'm going to move this over. Make sure I got space for everything on the screen. Okay. So let's see, how are they feeling about the work situation? We have the High Priestess. Okay, so this is interesting because maybe they're not really thinking about or acknowledging how they feel about the work situation. They're probably just doing it. They're probably just grinding, you know, which could be driven by this anxiety that they are feeling. You know, so they don't have time to engage in any navel gazing to figure out, well, how am I feeling about the fact that I'm working all the time? So they're just, you know, they're probably just on go mode. They're, you know, maybe, I don't know if it's automatic pilot, but they, yeah, like I said, they don't have time for figuring out how they feel. Though I wonder with the High Priestess, how do they feel? The thing about the High Priestess, you know, she's very secretive. Okay, so can you clarify for us, please, like how they're actually feeling about the workaholic situation, the work situation here? How are they actually feeling? Okay, we've got the Grand Trine in Earth. So I guess the good thing about it, oh, look, we also have Descendant. Okay, so with regard to the Grand Trine in Earth, that just reiterates the idea that this person is really working. And I think that it brings out the notion that there's something that is fitting here, that they're doing this. There's something seamless about it. It's not necessarily that this person feels like it's disruptive. They probably feel like, well, this is required and I'm okay with it. That I have to work like this. And with regard to the descendant here, I think this is why. It's because of these marriage plans. The descendant represents the seventh house in the natal chart in astrology, and the seventh house represents, among other things, marriage, committed partnerships. So clearly the focus here, again, everything that this energy is directly tied to the marriage and the trip, the travel. Okay, so speaking of which, let's see, how do they feel about the travel situation? Okay, now that's interesting because we've got the Tower. Now we see some disruption. I wonder if they feel this way. I'm going to clarify that too. We're going to ask. Okay, please clarify the Tower. Why do they feel that way about the vacation travel situation? Why do they feel like the Tower? We have solar eclipse. And at the bottom of the deck, waxing moon. Okay, I think that it's funny that they're okay, emotionally speaking, with the work situation, having to work so much and so hard. But the anxiety is more so coming out here with regard to the vacation. Maybe this is the person, because maybe they're feeling like they're not in their comfort zone, like taking a tropical vacation, maybe, or wherever they're planning to go. Maybe it feels uncomfortable for them because it's not familiar. But they're doing it maybe because of this person that they're planning to get married to, or that they want to get married to, or that they see themselves, maybe once they can get things together, getting married to. And you've got this waxing moon, so that shows us that, the emotion is getting stronger about this here. The person, the newness of this situation, the novelty. You always say that a solar eclipse has kind of a slow burn. It doesn't start, it starts quite literally as a new moon. It's a new moon eclipse. So the moon is dark from, our vantage point. And so with that darkness, there's uncertainty, and it's not clear what's going to develop exactly. So yeah, I think this is just representing this person's fear of the unknown. So that's interesting. Okay, so now let's see, how's this person feeling about the marriage plans? Okay, we've got the Emperor. All right, so there's a combination here of kind of maybe not focusing on how they feel per se about it, but at the same time maybe just having very they feel very in control. Yeah, and they feel like they are up for this challenge. Like this is an event maybe whose time has come, and they're ready. They think they can fulfill the duties of a husband or wife, whatever the case may be. Okay, so now let's look briefly at you in regard to this person before we close things out. So for option 1, when this person thinks of option 1, what do they think? How do they feel when they think of option 1? We've got feminine energy. And Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio. Okay, so with Pisces, Cancer, and Scorpio, and maybe that's someone's astrological sign here, yours, theirs, for some of you, maybe not all of you, of course, it doesn't have to be the case. But the energy here is very watery. We've got the moon on both cards, and we've got the sign Cancer, which is ruled by the moon. So, and it's funny because we were talking about the solar eclipse, and we were talking about, you know, the waxing moon over here. So, the emotions are, I think, running high with regard to you. But I also get this sense of like stillness and peace. You know, this is feminine energy and therefore what they'd call yin. You know, it's yielding and receptive. It may be that they see you that way. You know, when they think of you, they see you in this way. But I think that to tie it in with the rest of the reading, they feel this way about you. When they think of you, these are the feelings they have. And it's, you know, it's emotional, but there's something calm here at the same time. Now, I guess I should mention, since this is at the bottom of the deck, affair, sneaking around, secret love, and again, we've got a full moon. We've got this moon theme, this lunar theme. For some of you, this person, I don't know who you are in the picture. If you are not, and I assume you're not, because the intention for the reading, and I am putting it in the title, but I don't think I said it at the beginning of the reading, is that this is for people who have not heard from this person in a long time, and they were just wondering, just wanting to check in and see how this person is doing in life, because they don't know and they're curious. And so my intention here was to, you know, bring through a reading that was independent of, for the most part, independent of the viewer and their relationship with this person. All of this, at least. But this last portion is supposed to be about you and the person, the relationship between the two of you, where it stands. And it seems, if we're going to go with that, because that was my intention, maybe this person may be planning, you know, to marry someone, but is also still thinking of you in some kind of way, like they wonder about the possibility of having an illicit connection with you. So that is totally unexpected, option 1, but that is what the cards are bringing through here, so I have a duty to report that. Now, if you are actually the person that this person somehow was thinking of marrying, then I'm not sure how this really fits. I don't think this would fit unless you are the third party, as you know, like the hypothetical third party. Yeah. So, okay, well, this is your reading, option 1. I'm just keeping it real. Thank you for joining me. If you enjoyed this reading, even after that, found this reading helpful or entertaining or, you know, positive for you in any way, please consider subscribing to the channel and liking this video. It will help me and the channel out so very much with the algorithm. Thank you for joining me. I'm going to move on to option 2 now. Hello there, option 2. If you chose Tigger, this will be your reading. So before I put some more cards down here, I want to mention that because you chose Tigger, there's an energy here of someone who is very, well, bouncy. If you're familiar with the Winnie the Pooh stories, from which we get the Tigger character, then you know maybe that this character loves to bounce. And this character loves to bounce Probably because this character is full of joy and energy and enthusiasm. This is very high energy. Okay, so maybe the person who you came to this reading to hear about is also very high energy and bouncy. Maybe that is what's going on with them now. Like there's something for them to be excited about, and they are. But let's see what else we can find out about what is going on with this person. So for those who chose option 2, what is going on with the person on their mind who they came to this reading for, and what is going on in that person's life at this time? Ooh. We have palmistry to attract the opposite sex. Okay, so they are seeking to be popular with the opposite sex. Maybe that's why they've got all this energy, and in fact, maybe some of that energy is desirous of an escape. Okay, maybe they want to blow off some of this steam, if you know what I mean. Okay, let's see what else we got about what's going on with this person. And I didn't mention before, but this reading is supposed to be, and my intention was for it to be about someone you haven't heard from in a long time, and you're just wondering how they were doing. So, because you don't know what's happening with them, so you're here to find out. In that vein, what else can you tell us about this person that option 2 came to this reading to hear about? What is going on in that person's life? How are they doing? Please enlighten us. Okay, we have windmill. Listen to the breeze blowing through the tulip fields. Okay. See, what else can you tell us about what's going on with this person in their life? What are they focusing on? Okay, we have life goal, know it all. Got a couple of graduation caps there. All right. And let's see, just one more thing. What else is going on in this person's life? What are they focusing on? How are they doing? What's going on? We also have tiny home. It's definitely cozy. Okay. So we already got the message of, high energy and the idea that they are looking for someone of the opposite sex for, romantic activities. But beyond that, it looks like they're also, concerned with their home. Maybe they are looking for a place to live. Maybe they've recently moved and they're in a new place. And it's, not very spacious. It's cozy, but it's not spacious. And here, even with the windmill, it's a structure that is not, at least in this picture, I can't tell that it's huge. I just imagine someone trying to live in this little space here. I don't know if you can see this here. I don't know. I guess windmills generally are supposed to be tall and all of that, but I'm not sure if that's what's going on here. Is this the top of a windmill? Maybe that's what I should focus on, the idea that someone's living at the top of a windmill or in a bell tower or in an attic or something like that. Like it's, very close. Everything is very close at hand. So your person may be dealing with matters having to do with their living arrangement, the space in which they are living. Now here with the life goal, I mentioned that you got 2 graduation caps here, so I wonder if this person is also focused on some course of study that they are working to finish. This person may be in school. This person may be taking some kind of ad hoc course, continuing education course, certificate program, or maybe just, what do you call it? I don't know. Something for their own enrichment, like the kind of thing you would take at your local community college at night, you know, I guess at night or in the evening or on the weekends or something like that. It might not be all that serious, but they're trying to learn all they can about whatever the topic is that they are studying in whatever capacity they are studying it. So now let's see how they feel about all this stuff going on in their life right now. So how are they feeling about the home situation, the housing situation? How are they feeling about that? Okay, we've got the Magician. How are they feeling about the education thing here? We've got Temperance. And how are they feeling about, well, it's about the home thing again. So how are they feeling about that? I guess we'll just ask for more clarification. Okay. See if I can move these over. Okay. So it seems that the person is in the process of maybe letting go of certain expectations regarding the housing situation, and they're trying to focus on what they can accomplish, and maybe if they can only get a small place to live or to lay their head at night, that's okay. You know, because maybe something's better than nothing, and you know, hey, it's temporary potentially. Like, you know, there's always a chance that things will be up on the upswing, and this person will be able to get a better situation, or a situation that's more in line with what they actually want. Now, with regard to the educational thing, it looks like they are taking a measured approach here too. Like, so I don't know. I mean, the Tigger energy of enthusiasm, I think, has more to do with their wanting some opposite sex companionship than it has to do with any of this other stuff over here. I think this is separate. But you know, they are not being extreme about their education. So they understand it for what it is. They value it, but they don't. They haven't pinned all their hopes and dreams on it. They don't see it as the end all be all. They don't necessarily. They're not totally sure yet where it's going to take them or what it's going to do for them. Which, you know, if this is like a major degree program, like a graduate degree or bachelor's degree or something like that, well, that's maybe that sounds a bit concerning, but I suppose the good news is that, again, they, for the most part, they seem to be in good spirits about things and hopeful for the future. Okay, so now let's change gears and see about you and how they are thinking and feeling about you. So when this person who option 2 came to this reading to hear about is thinking of option 2, what do they think when they think of option 2? How do they feel? Let's see. We have expect changes, autumn. We also have dream big. Let me see what's at the bottom of this deck here. We have karmic cycle, repetition, soul lesson, and closure. Yeah, I was kind of thinking of the cycle energy here with the world card, and even with the windmill, with, you know, the I don't know what they're called, but there's the blades on this thing, how they turn and turn, you know, like this wheel over here that's turning, this person walks over it. Which is interesting because windmills generate energy, right? I think. And there's also energy that can be generated by water with these, I don't remember what they're called. If you remember or know, please say so in the comments. But anyway, these are ways of generating energy. Energy production can happen, you know, through these more, what do they call them, cleaner, more, yeah, clean energy sources. So that's interesting. But the fact that this person is balancing on this wheel here, it reminds me of the Tigger energy. They seem to be hopeful regarding you, option 2. Maybe they hope to get in touch with you. Maybe they hope for things to be different by the autumn. And I don't know when you're watching this or where you are, but whenever autumn is next coming for you, they are hoping that things will maybe be, they're hoping maybe something will have changed, perhaps so that the two of you can have some kind of dealings with each other. Let me see. I'm going to ask for clarification. So is this person hoping that the change here with option 2 will be that they reconnect with each other? Is that what they're hoping for here? Okay, we've got the 10th house. At the bottom of the deck we have Lilith. Well, maybe after a fashion. But since we're talking about the 10th house, it could be that this is all about this person's career, which is weird because all this is about you. So maybe they're hoping to change the status of your connection. But the Lilith is giving me pause here because, like, this would be energy that maybe would not be so easily embraced, and certainly in a 10th house context. That's interesting. Maybe though, maybe there was something about you and them associating that is quote unquote taboo from their perspective or from their community or society. I don't know. It's going to differ for different people watching. And so it could be that they are hoping, you know, for some kind of reconnection with you. And maybe they say, you know what, I don't care. I don't care if other people don't find it appropriate. Interesting. But we do also have the message, you know, of closure here and soul lesson. So maybe if they do reconnect you, I don't know if it's something they hope to turn into an ongoing association. It could be that they just want closure. They just want to tie up the loose ends. Maybe because they feel like there's stuff that was left unsaid and they want to be able to say it, or they want to give you that space, or, you know, I don't know. Close the book, so to speak. So I'm not sure. Maybe it'll differ for different ones of you. Like some of you, maybe this person will want to reconnect for closure. For others, they'll want to reconnect to reinstate the connection. Okay, so that is your reading, option 2. I'm going to move on to option 3 now. And if you enjoyed this reading, please subscribe or like this video. Again, I thank you. Hello there, option 3. If you chose Pooh, this will be your reading. Now, Winnie the Pooh is a kind and I don't know if I want to say simple-minded, you know, type of person. It is not a bad, Winnie's personality is not bad. Winnie is, you know, probably somewhat fun-loving and spontaneous, but also really loves honey. So your person may be like Pooh in some way, like one of the traits I just mentioned, or maybe at this time that's where they are in life, just kind of enjoying life and you know, hoping for things to not be complicated or trying to not complicate things. And maybe your person's a foodie as well. I don't know. They love honey in particular. Anyway, what else can you tell us about what is going on with this person that option 3 came to this reading to hear about? What is going on in their life? How are they doing? Let's see. We have palmistry of a person with rich feelings and a strong personality. Okay. It says people with this kind of palmistry have personality and a high artistic aesthetic. Okay. So, your person maybe is dealing with their strong feelings, their rich emotional life, and their aesthetic sense in some kind of way, even though, well, that's sort of broad. That's a bit broad for me. I wonder if I can get any kind of clarification here. Okay, please clarify this here. What does this mean for option 3's person and how they're doing right now and what's going on with them in their life? Please clarify this. We have Nader. And let's see what's on the bottom of the deck here. And we have Uranus. Okay, so yeah, like I was saying, maybe they're dealing with their, well, maybe, did I say they're dealing with their feelings? We said they have rich feelings, whatever that means. I don't know if this was written by a native speaker of English, but anyway, they have rich feelings. So I think that certainly points to maybe, like I said, a rather active emotional life. And I think that this goes with that, with the Nader card. With Uranus, though, it could be that this person is trying not only to deal with the feelings, but to overcome the feelings, like get over the feelings, move on from the feelings, which maybe they're doing that by just trying to live in the moment, like Pooh, you know, enjoying the simple things. Let's see. Okay, so how is this person doing? This person who option 3 came to this reading to hear about, how is this person doing? What's going on in their life? What are they focusing on? Please give me 3 cards. Okay, we got 1 card. Give me a second one. We got 2, and please give me a 3rd one here. Now we've got 3. Okay. So let's see what we got. We've got run a marathon, solar panels. It's called being eco-friendly. And we have ranch. Cowboy boots are included in the deal. Okay, so we got another reading here that is focusing on housing. It could be that your person is focused on a housing situation, not unlike one of the previous options. But unlike one of the previous options, this is more of maybe a spacious living situation. So this person may be involved in a move or thinking of moving or looking to move. Either that, or they could be actually doing some renovations on their home or their living space, wherever they are, because we got the solar panels here. And so maybe they want to, I don't know, do something that's more environmentally friendly in their home. Now, this is an interesting message. I wonder if for some of you it's not that they're working on their home, but that instead they are working on themselves, their emotional life. And that's actually tying in what we were just talking about, trying to get free of certain emotional constraints or burdens that the person has been experiencing. And so this is kind of a sense in which the person is maybe not having a home makeover, but a emotional makeover, within themselves. And with the Run a Marathon, they could, in fact, be focusing on health. It's something healthy. In order to run a marathon, you have to train. In order to train and then run a marathon, you do have to be in good shape. And I hope you don't eat a lot of crap. I don't know. I've never run a marathon. I'm not a runner. All I know is that maybe someone doing that kind of thing would load up on carbs or something. So, but I don't know if it's necessary that you have to, or that you would want to load up on a bunch of unhealthy carbs, because there are, actually healthy ones. But anyway, so the overarching theme here then, at this point, seems to be that this person is trying to deal maybe with their own emotional life. Their emotional reactions to things or emotional baggage. But as they deal with it, they're understanding that, it's a marathon, not a sprint, and it won't be something that they'll be able to resolve in a short time. Instead, this is like a long-term process and a distant goal, but it's a goal all the same. So this should be interesting for this particular reading here, but since we're talking about emotions. But how is this person feeling about these things going on in their life right now? How are they feeling about these things? We've got this card here. Okay, give me another one, please. Okay, and what about this last one? There we go. So let's see. Look at these three. We've got the Wheel of Fortune. That's just trying not to be on the screen. And we've got the Hanged Man. And we've got the Chariot. Okay. So, yes, they are full steam ahead. I mean, running a marathon is pretty active and forward moving. So there's a lot of energy of movement here. It's actually quite interesting that Pooh is bringing this through, because I talked about Pooh and I don't know quite how much, other than talking about, a kind of simple way of approaching life. And again, if you're letting go of stuff, you're cutting out the dead weight, you're getting rid of emotional baggage, I guess maybe you might take on a Pooh-like way of being. And we've got that here with the Wheel of Fortune too. I think, this person is trying to, get on with life and, say, well, what has been, what will be, and so, I'm going to try and move forward. But with the Hanged Man, this is interesting, is right here in the middle of cards that I would have said have more to do with movement. Maybe this person actually feels stuck. They want to make the changes, but they don't know exactly how to implement all of the changes, or rather, they don't know what to do to bring the change about. Maybe there are some things they're doing and, they want to move forward, but they find themselves stalling. Like, if this person is engaging in some kind of self-help routine, maybe it's not quite getting the job done. Maybe it's helped move the needle a bit, but they want more progress than what they're seeing. So they feel kind of stuck and not sure exactly what to do next, but they want to, and there's an energy of moving forward here. So overall, I think they are definitely trying to make changes, and they have some, I was going to say they have some sense of urgency about it, but at the same time, there's stagnation. So maybe they're of two minds, or let me not say minds, since I asked how do they feel, but maybe they've got mixed emotions about the change that's happening, the change that they themselves are trying to institute. Okay, so, whoa, Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius. Is that anyone watching? I don't know. That card just wanted to flip out. Okay, so for option 3, when this person who they came to this reading for thinks of option 3, what do they think of? Well, how do they feel? What do they think and feel when they think of option 3? Okay, we have Capricorn, Taurus, Virgo. So we got some more astrological signs out here. We also have I need space, overwhelmed, boundaries, and retreat. Okay, so they either think that they need space from you or that you need space from them. Can't help but notice here on this card, all 3 of our zodiac animals here are sitting around this campfire, but they are they all have their eyes closed, as if they're, I don't know, meditating or something. And here this person also has their eyes closed. So maybe this person blocks off their feelings or thoughts about you because they're overwhelmed and they're trying to set a boundary. We were talking about how they seem to be dealing with their own stuff these days. So that is the message coming through here too, that, well, maybe they're not so much thinking about you because they're thinking about their own concerns with themselves. Let me see what's on the bottom of the deck here. However, on the bottom of the deck, we do have chemistry, spark, attraction, and magnetic pull. So, yes, they need space, or think you need space, or both maybe. But at the same time, they acknowledge that there is this spark and attraction between you, this magnetic pull and chemistry. So, maybe this is for another time for them to revisit and explore. But that is beyond the scope of this reading, which I'm going to end here. So if you enjoyed this reading or found it helpful or entertaining in any way, please consider subscribing or giving this video a thumbs up. Liking this video would help me and the channel out with the algorithm so much. Thank you so much for joining me. I'm going to move on to our 4th and final option. Hello there, option 4. If you chose Eeyore, this will be your reading. Now, Eeyore is a character in the Winnie the Pooh stories who is rather down emotionally, low energy, so like the opposite of Tigger, really, and honestly, kind of depressive. Eeyore has a glass half full type of mentality. So Eeyore's kind of pessimistic. So your person who you came to this reading for may be in Eeyore mode at this time. They may also be feeling pessimistic and down, unenthusiastic. Let's see what else we can find out. So for those who chose option 4, how is this person doing? This person they came to this reading to hear about. How are they doing? What's going on in their life? What's their focus? What's going on with this person at this time? We have strong self-esteem, likes to lead others. Okay. People with this kind of palm line live with lofty ideals and are leaders with strong self-esteem. Well, okay. So I guess even though your person may be a negative Nelly, at least they have strong self-esteem. I mean, they are, I guess, feeling positive or good about themselves, in so much as a pessimistic person can, I guess. This is interesting. This is an interesting combination. But this person is idealistic and a leader. And maybe that's it. Maybe this is someone who's just kind of like never satisfied and kind of, I don't think of Eeyore as being grumpy. I just think of Eeyore as just being like low energy and kind of sad. So I don't know what your person may be in Eeyore mode about, but maybe it is tied to the leadership element here. I mean, maybe it's a case of feeling burdened. And Eeyore, I think, is supposed to be a donkey, so that's kind of funny, a beast of burden. But anyway, maybe they're feeling burdened by some responsibility. Maybe that's what's going on here. Let's see what else. So for those who chose option 4, how is this person who's on their mind? How are they doing? What's going on with them? What are they focusing on in life? Get one card. Okay. Two cards. And 3 cards. Let's see what we got. We've got Professor, Climb a Mountain, and Vlogger. Okay, so the Professor energy maybe goes with the leadership thing over here. And, I think, did I say the phrase never satisfied? Because I could see a professor being very critical, right? And the students don't catch a break. And no matter how hard they work or how excellent their work is, the professor always finds fault, always finds something to criticize. It's kind of stingy with compliments and encouragement, shall we say. But this is the mode that this person is in. I wonder if this person is in school. They might actually just work as, well, they could be an academic, yes, but they could be in any line of work where they get to have some kind of authority over others. And maybe somehow they just aren't feeling great at this time about what's going on in the work realm. And we also have Climb a Mountain. So again, this sense of, we said, being overburdened with something, and it may relate to work, to career. And I suppose there may be someone here, you may be thinking of someone who's not working, but in school. In such case, maybe they're having to deal with some professor in particular who's giving them a hard time, or with maybe a course workload that is daunting and has them feeling down, low energy, and pessimistic. We also, though, have Vlogger. So this is interesting. Maybe the person you're thinking of is focusing on developing a social media presence. They might be on YouTube, or maybe they're going to start a YouTube channel. They're focusing on some kind of way to get themselves out there where people on the internet can see them. And maybe they have a story, a personal story to tell, or some personal knowledge, expertise to impart. Again, if they're a professor or at some kind of higher level in their career, then if they're an expert, they can parlay that into a social media following. And maybe that is what they are focusing on right now. Okay, so how do they feel about these things that they are focusing on? How do they feel about this professor energy here? Whatever that is about. What about the climb a mountain energy? How are they feeling about this situation? Okay, and how are they feeling about the vlogger situation here? Okay. So we have the moon, death, and the sun. Okay, so we've got the moon and the sun, so that's interesting. With the vlogger, things are they're surprisingly bright, happy, forward moving. This person is probably quite forward thinking about this, and they feel good about it. Maybe they're getting attention, recognition. I don't know if that's what's going on. It was probably not what's going on in their work or school, where we have the moon energy, which seems to be coming through here is a lot more doubt and anxiety and uncertainty. So they're not feeling great about this over here, this, like I said, the work or school thing, but their social media gambit, yes, things are going well from their perspective. They're happy. It makes them happy. Maybe this is like some kind of escape from this other, they say negative, but challenging energy over here. And the climb the mountain, death. They're looking to, I think they're trying to get away from this stuff that's causing the stress, the burden, the anxiety, I think. And whatever it is that they're doing on social media is really helping them get away from all this other stuff. So it's, at the very least, it's a nice escape. Okay, now so let's look at this person's thoughts and feelings regarding you, option 4. So when this person we're talking about here thinks of option 4, what do they think of them and how do they feel? Okay, we got career shift, work, change, and calling. We also have hot and cold. Okay, let me see. So this is interesting because we were talking about their work concerns and how, they're trying to get away from this stuff. And quite literally here we see, is there a career shift? Is this person hoping to quit their day job and become a full-time, social media influencer or a YouTuber? I don't know. But they are apparently thinking of a career shift, and it seems to have something to do with you. Like when they think of you, they think of this career shift. So I wonder if they feel like changing their job would give them the opportunity to spend more time with you or like reconnect with you. Maybe the job and its cares somehow got in the way of your connection with this person. It torpedoed the lines of communication because your person just just wasn't feeling it. They weren't having the energy or whatever. And here we got the hot and cold. So maybe they believe that they were coming across as being hot and cold, and it's all connected to these career and professional concerns, which they are hoping to get resolved. And at the bottom of the deck here we have masculine energy. So they are certainly thinking, when they think of you, that they want to adopt this can-do attitude and put in the work and the effort to make this change, this shift. so that they can open their lives up, possibly to include you in it once more, or more so, depending here. Okay, so option 4, this is your reading. This is how your person is doing. If you enjoyed this reading, found it helpful or interesting or informative, please subscribe or like this video. Thank you so much for joining me. And until next time, and I hope there will be a next time, goodbye.